Today it's time for a very honest check-in, and while it's what I want to share with you right now, I do also believe that it can be valuable for you. So I hope you enjoy this video, and let me just kind of get you updated on where I am right now, what I'm doing, how I'm feeling. So during the past few weeks, it's been a bit stressful. I had to organize some things for an upcoming trip I'm going on in 2 days. Also like family, work related things that needed organizing and just needed a lot of time. That kind of changes my mood, or I mean, it makes sense that stressful times you don't maybe feel as inspired and happy and creative. And that is also kind of what happened to me right now. So I definitely always realize that my creativity goes through phases. And especially when it comes to this channel, I think I learned enough to realize that just low views do not mean that my worth is changing or anything, or that the videos are bad necessarily. But sometimes it's just kind of hard to market videos to the algorithm. Like, I know some of my core audience watch all of my videos, or almost all of my videos, and honestly I really don't want anyone to watch my videos if they don't want to watch them. But I still kind of need the algorithm's help to promote my content to more new people, which feels good, which earns me more money, which makes it easier to create because I'm getting more feedback. And so I think there's like a varied amount of pressure depending on how I feel, how my channel is doing, how my life is going, maybe also just how my hormones are right now. Like, there are phases where I feel like nothing I'm thinking, nothing I'm doing, nothing I'm producing is worth anything. And there are times where it's like, oh, these are such great ideas, I'm so creative, I'm creating exactly what I want to do, and it's amazing. And I think that's very normal. And that is also kind of what I want to talk about today, which is sometimes we do not have anything to share. And nowadays with social media, I think it doesn't even matter if you are a creator, if you earn any money with it. Maybe even if you don't have social media where you publish stuff, it can feel that way, that you should always have something to say. You should always have a lesson you learned. You should always be 1% better each and every day. Even sometimes talking to friends, like, what are you doing? How is it going? What are your new projects? What are you working on? And on one hand, I think it's of course amazing to always continue to learn. I think this is one of my favorite things. But on the other hand, I realized that we're so focused on always being better, on making ourselves better, making other people better, being more successful. And I did talk actually about related things in a few of my past videos, like the most recent ones. So I can highly recommend to check them out if you haven't yet and these topics interest you. Because what I want to say, and this, I haven't talked about it so much, I think, in other videos, but this is the video where I talk about it. And that is that I think it's very, very normal to sometimes just not have any valuable thing, or it feels like it at least, to share, or you did not get better even 1% during the past day or week or even month. Or maybe you don't feel as productive as you want to feel. You thought you learned stuff and you realize you're just at the beginning. Maybe you feel like some of your areas of life are worse than they were before. And I think this is always talked about as failing, but I think it's just so incredibly normal. But the way we share things, the way we tell our stories, the way we think we are supposed to live, is that it always has to go forward. It always has to get better. It always has to get just more and faster and better. That's kind of the capitalist consumerist thing, right? We always want better things. We want them faster. We want more of them. And I think most of us realize at some point that it's not that easy. But instead of blaming ourselves, spending more money, or feeling terrible about it, I think it's good to talk about it and realize that it's not very natural, normal, or even desirable. And I'm saying all of this, meaning that today I don't really have anything to share with you. I don't have valuable insight on a minimalist life or my decluttering journey, on living sustainably, a slow life or anything, but I think this in itself is actually valuable. I at least hope so, because I think we're enough. Like, it's nice if we learn things. It's nice if we get better. It's nice if situations and things progress in our desired direction. But I definitely think it's also just a very, very valuable part of life to just be, to just exist. And there's a story I want to share with you today. I think I talked about it in an in and out video a few months ago, but I thought I'd share it again because I think it's so important for this. And it's, I talked about my hair with my friends, and she said something like, oh, do you cut it yourself or do you go to like a hairdresser? And I said, yeah, I usually go to a hairdresser because I wasn't sure, like it's kind of hard to cut shorter hair yourself. And she was like, oh, well, I understand you're in front of the camera and so you kind of want your hair to look okay or nice or good or I don't know. And that made me think, because I did cut my hair myself in the past, and I mean, I cut this myself, and I'm okay with going to the hairdresser, and it's not a lot of money and it's kind of fun sometimes to try out new hairstyles. But she was so right with what she said, because I'd actually like to live a life where it doesn't matter if my hairstyle looks kind of weird for a few months, or if like some areas of my life are just a huge work in progress. And I think like we know that. I think we really know, or we tell ourselves, at least if we want to be kind to ourselves, that it's okay to not have everything figured out, that it's okay to not be perfect, that it's okay that we're just learning. But I still think we're not actually taking it too hard enough. And by that, I do not mean you need to have weird haircuts you do yourself in front of the mirror. Absolutely not. But I'm saying that we should accept even more that it's absolutely normal to actually be a work in progress. To not always like know, well, this is where I'm coming from and this is where I'm going, and I'm on this straight line of a path I'm taking towards my dream life, or whatever it is, towards success, towards my family, towards my dream, my bucket list. I think most of us would feel better if we could allow ourselves to sometimes take detours. Not even in a way of like, yeah, taking a detour is sometimes more beautiful. None of these cheesy sayings, but just rest, not progress for a while. Wait until creativity comes again. Not be part of a certain area of your life because you're just not feeling it for a while. And I'm very, very aware that in our world, we live in systems that do not really allow that. Like, we have to show up for work. We have to show up for our family. We have to kind of take care of ourselves because we are always meeting other people and they have, I don't know, ideas of how we should look. And I think that's a problem. And I've talked about that in other videos, but I definitely realize that it's a reality for 99.9% of people that we have to follow certain routines, that we have to tick a few boxes of society. But that doesn't mean that we can also understand that that is not always the best idea. And as a content creator, for example, for me, that usually means that I have to publish consistently. Like, I should be on Instagram every single day, even though I haven't been on Instagram that much. And actually it feels good. I have to post consistently on YouTube. Like, one video a week is actually non-negotiable, it feels like. But is that true? Like, if I want to make money, yes. And that's also a problem, that we're kind of running after this kind of success after money. And if it's your job, you have to, absolutely. But that doesn't mean it's ideal. That doesn't mean it's perfect. And that also means for me that wherever I can, I want to allow myself to check out of something that I just can't. I'm not progressing in. I don't feel like investing in myself at the moment. And I'm showing up here. I'm making this YouTube video. But I kind of say the opposite, because I'm saying that sometimes it would maybe be better to accept that there's not always progress, that there's not always a new life lesson. Like, I can't learn a new life lesson to share with you every single week. And I'm trying to share valuable things from my life, from my experiences, from the things I learned, from the things I know, from the things I do, from the things I own, whatever it is. And I do hope to add value. But I also want to accept more, maybe, that this is not necessarily like true. This is not necessarily how life works for most people. Like, why do I think that it's normal and that I can ask that from myself sometimes? To actually have something valuable, new, fresh, interesting to say every single week. But with that said, I'm now gonna finish this video, edit it, upload it, and go on vacation. And then I'm either taking you along, or I'm hopefully coming back with new ideas, new life lessons that I learned, because I still kind of have to work with what I have here as a platform and the algorithms and everything. But as I said, that doesn't mean we shouldn't question it sometimes. I do hope you had a lovely time during the past week, and you have a lovely week that's coming up. And I hope you can also allow yourself to rest sometimes, to accept that we don't have to get better 1% every single day. And sometimes we get better by 20%, and sometimes we get worse by 2%. And maybe it's not even worse, because maybe it's just life, and maybe not everything is measurable and not everything is better or worse. Maybe it's just happening, and we're going along and we're living one more day, and that itself can be enough. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I do also want to link you a video here. And I do want to say thank you so much to everyone who's following me on Patreon, who's a patron, that supports my life and my career online. And also thank you if you have watched this video until now. That really helps out this channel, and I'm glad you even found value in this video today. So I hope to see you there or in my next video, and goodbye.